or there will be something that will be addressing the real solution. But I was surprised that there was a lot of greenwashing. There's a lot of pretense from the world leaders, including our president. And I did ask in one of the side events that I attended that was organized by the Greenpeace International, that people were impressed that our president was driving himself in an electric car, and it was being escorted with electric bikes. It was good. But to me it wasn't. The question I was asking them was, how long was he going to ride in them? So that was purely meant for that summit. It was purely meant to give people an impression that they're changing or they're doing something, and in real sense they're not. He made a wonderful speech. The speech was very good. But again, the question was...
You're talking about William Ruto now?
Yeah, I'm talking about William Ruto now, the president.
So he's very good with words.
He's very good with words. In fact, he'll tell you what you want to hear. The problem is the implementation is absolutely zero. I think that the only reason as to why this guy decided to host or to request to host the African Climate Summit just to help with issues of economy. But it was nothing, absolutely nothing to do with addressing the real issues. So I didn't have an opportunity to be one of the panelists, but I was one of the attendances, and I had an opportunity to ask a question, which I gave out in form of a comment, based on what one of the panelists was talking about. And I asked them that, for example, if you go home today and you find your house burning, and you cannot access your house, and you know the source of the fire, what are you going to do as a person? Are you going to draw barrels and barrels of water to try and quench the fire, or you'll go and stop the fire from the source that you've identified? And everyone agreed with me that you will, instead of pouring water to quench the fire, you'll just go and stop it from the source. While we seated everywhere discussing about carbon trading, investing in carbon markets and carbon offsets. And I was surprised that a lot of foreign envoys were here, politicians were here. And I'm sure in every side event, I didn't manage to attend all of them. In all the side events that I attended, carbon credit was one of the topic of discussions. And I said, oh, okay, this is why politicians are here. They're looking at where they could make money. So it's about money, it's not about finding real solution. So I told them that for us to address this issue, if you're serious about it, then we have to stop our appetite for economic growth. That is not sustainable. That is the source of our problem. Number two, we have to address the aspect of population. Those are the sources of our major problems. If we would have addressed those ones, then we would not be here, attending all these conferences. No change. We keep on causing a lot of emissions, wasting a lot of money, resources, and all this, and there is no change, absolutely no change. So some people agreed with me, some did not, and I expected that. So there was nothing, absolutely nothing. I don't see. President Ruto made a very good speech, but he spoiled it at some point when he talked about carbon trading and whatever. And he was of the idea that Kenya, and for example, Africa, has a lot of carbon sinks, okay, that are serving the world. But if we will be living in an equal world, then Kenya in particular will be generating a lot of money from that. So I said, it's fine. It's all about money. It's not about finding the whole solution to the whole thing. So there's a lot of, crazy, ideas being generated that were not of importance at all, as far as I'm concerned. A round of applause from a few. That confirmed that there were people who actually sided with me on my thoughts about that. But majority, including the panels, I don't think they liked that, because that was not as per what they wanted to hear. Number two, on the aspect of, development in Africa, I told them the truth. because majority of them were white people. I'm not saying that, white people are very bad people. You're very good people. You're my friend and you're very good. But from the African aspect of it, there is this word that I don't like, the word of neo-colonialism. It is not true. We are again colonized. We are again colonized because all our resources have been taken. And I told them that the truth of the matter, let us stop fabrication and fabricating, sugarcoating words to make them sound and look nice. There is no global north without the global south. That is the truth. If the leadership of the global south will come together and put a stop to exploitation of the resources, the global north will come begging and treating us as one of the equals, partners, not beggars. And this is something that, they don't want to accept because the leadership of the global north tends to finance puppets in the name of presidents here to keep them in power so that they can continue exploiting the resources down here. And that is the truth of the matter. I'm sorry, Bob, but that is how it is.
I agree. You're putting it very well. I hope you don't mind if I share this recording.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. That is the truth. And
oh, I know. And it's good to hear you saying it because it's pointless me saying it.
Yes, and I told them I support coups that are going on in West Africa. Coups are going on. The latest one was Gabon. We don't know which one again, because it's like Africans are, waking up. Okay, it's like we are waking up. We are seeing the reality. No aid comes with conditions. You've supported my work, Bob, for several years. Not a single day have you ever conditioned me, and we've managed to achieve a lot, create a lot of impacts, and through our ways of doing this. But no aid comes with conditions. If you're given aid, and then you're conditioned that you must accept our way of doing things, then
I think when you said that, you mean to say that most aid comes with conditions.
Most aid comes with conditions. I do believe that aid should not come in form of a condition that you have to do the way we want. If you choose to help me, you'll help me irrespective of how my culture, what my culture demands. You must not make me follow your way of doing things because you're helping me. Okay, look at Niger. Niger, they're a coup, and from statistics that I was able to gather is that Niger is known for uranium. Okay, 80% of the uranium is exported to France. Okay, it is taken to France, and that is able to power about 90% of France energy. But if you come back to Niger, where this mineral is coming from, only 10% of their population have access to electricity. Is it fair?
Yeah. About conditions and aid, and I'm thinking if we look at our relationship, you and I obviously have chosen to support you because I see the direction that you are traveling is something that I approve of. So the condition is built into my choice. I've chosen to support you because I believe you have the skills to just help humanity in the right direction. Now, so it's about trust and judgment, I think. I think where there's trust and where there's a common, because you and I have a common purpose, because we both feel that economic growth is the cause of the fire, that is no point putting water on it. So it's because we've got a fundamental agreement about that aspect of the problem that I can give you financial support unconditionally, because I've got trust in your skills and your understanding of the problem. Now, I think the same apply. I think that problem applies with any aid. I don't think aid is going to work unless the whole world have got the same objective. I mean, if we're all aiming to reduce our impact on the planet, if we're all recognizing that we need to reduce gross world product, the whole economic system, then I think then we can see money changing hands with faith that the recipient is going to do something sensible with it. But at the moment, that both sides, both the givers and the takers at the moment, are working towards an objective that makes the situation worse, because we've got the Sustainable Development Goals, which are saying, oh, we've got to develop everybody up to this over-consuming level that we've got in the north. So we're just making the situation worse. When aid changes hands, it goes into the rich in the southern hemisphere who don't have any desire to reduce humanity's impact on Earth. So without that change in mindset, I'm afraid aid is going to be a problem, because everybody's in there for their own self-interest. Then nobody's thinking of it as a whole. So you and I, our arrangement is very unusual.
Very well put, Bob. Very well put. I wish we could have world leadership think the same way we think. That will, make things, differently. But right now, I'm afraid that is not what is happening. That is not what is happening. It's quite different. I saw it, happen at the summit. Each and every one of us has personal interests. And what they fail to understand is, with the ecological overshoot that we're experiencing right now, all those interests are not going to be achieved, or even if they're achieved, they'll be of no importance. When money loses value, when we exhaust all our resources and all that. That is what they don't understand. So I wish people would think in that direction, and that is why I was disputing, what President Ruto was trying to do. It was quite, impressive to outsiders who do not understand, who do not know, but it was something that was very difficult to understand or to accept with us who understand, who knows.